The new way to rough it somewhat. Enjoy the great outdoors, but spend indoors in luxury and comfort. It's called glamping. It's coming as close as the road leading to Joshua Tree National Park. You can read all about it this Sunday in the Desert Sun. Mark Olalde is working on that story. He joins us this morning. How do people who live in Joshua Tree, how do they feel about this?
You know, it's a bit of a mixed bag. They're happy there's business coming to town. They're happy that there's a development that is doing what it can to kind of weigh and measure and balance the environment and development. But at the same time, this is just another piece of a trend of more development coming to previously untouched parts of the desert, and something else that will probably continue driving up home costs in an area that's already seen its real estate market get out of control recently.
The company is called Auto Camp, and so what exactly will happen to an area right near the park?
Just about a mile or two up the road on Highway 62, they've got a plot of land where they're starting to strip some of the land, and they'll be putting 55 units, largely Airstreams, for people to come in and have kind of somewhat outdoors experiences, somewhat luxury experiences, and it'll kind of just be another way to get tourists near the park.
And so it's good for business. What does it mean for the environment?
Well, it's interesting right now, and that's the reason that I got involved as the environment reporter, is that right now there's the listing process, which is getting very heated, which is getting underway in the high desert. And so the Western Joshua Tree is listed as a candidate species under the California Endangered Species Act. And that essentially means that you can no longer kill Joshua trees for development. And so this specific project has been good about not touching the Joshua trees on their site. They've actually fenced them off, but they have been removing other plants on the site and clearing other vegetation to make room for what they're building. And so this is kind of raising some interesting questions about development around the high desert. And in reporting the story, we found that there are actually investigations underway from a state level about potential illegal poaching going on around other developments in the high desert. So this one seems to be doing a decent job to protect the environment, but there's definitely a lot of concerns flying about with the communities up there with regards to what development means for the environment that is the very thing that drives people to the high desert.
And so what about other developers? Are they doing a wait and see to see how this one goes before maybe they show some interest, or are they already showing interest in setting up shop there?
There's definitely been interest, I think, for a while here in the high desert, in increased development. People are definitely trying to feel out the listing process of the Joshua Tree because they are so ubiquitous up there. And they're also interesting in that if they are listed as a threatened species under the state act, that will be the first time that something was listed based on climate change being its main threat, as opposed to poaching or something a little bit more hands-on, let's say. And that kind of opens the door for a lot of other species because everything has some impact due to climate change. So that opens the door to other species being listed that might not have otherwise been. And so I think developers are keenly keeping an eye out on that. And there is a lawsuit from kind of a construction and aggregate trade group to stop that listing process because there is a fear that could open the floodgates for more environmental litigation and laws and regulations.
Well, it's going to be for interesting reading this Sunday. Mark, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And stay right there. We'll be right back.